When you meet an astrologer for the first time, the question they're most likely to ask you is, so what are your big three? For astrologers, this question is the same as, so what do you do for a living? Or where do you come from? It's an establishing question. It gives them an overview of who you are and what you're about and, of course, whether you're grounded in the basics of astrology. In this short course, we're going to find out what your big three are and build an understanding of what they represent and how they influence you from an astrological point of view. This course includes video taken from my course, An Introduction to Natal Astrology, so if you like what you see and are interested in learning more, then please, by all means, look up my course on Udemy. The big three in astrology are the Sun, the Moon, and the Ascendant. These 3 points on a natal astrology chart are considered the 3 greatest points of influence, and we'll get into more detail with these soon. If you are one person who does not feel that your star sign is representative of you, then it's possible that you've got more of a connection to the moon or the ascendant rather than your sun sign. Your sun sign being your star sign. We'll go into more detail on this, but before we do, I just want to anchor some fundamentals when we work with planets in astrology. When astrologers ask you questions about your chart, they're referring to your natal chart. The chart that reflects the position of the planets and the constellation that appeared on the eastern horizon of the Earth at the time of your birth, and it's relative to your birth date, time, and geographical location. Why is it important? Astrology is built on the premise that the essential makeup is influenced by the planets, so knowing exactly where the planets are at the time of your birth is vital. To accurately determine your natal chart, you'll need your birth date, the exact birth time, and the geographical position where you were born. The first two you can find on your birth certificate, and the latter you can Google. You can get latitude and longitude of your birth city from Google, but also hospitals as landmarks can generally be Googled for latitude and longitude as well, so knowing the hospital you were born in will also give you exact coordinates. In Lecture 6, I'll show you how to use all of the data to create and print a natal chart, so don't rush off now. The natal astrology chart is a map. It's divided into 12 houses, and each of these houses reflect all of the important parts of your life. Family, work, love, creativity, money. They're all represented by these 12 divisions. The natal chart starts at the 9 o'clock point of the wheel and moves counterclockwise, so this is the first house, and this is the 12th house. By knowing your birth date, time and geographical location, we can accurately calculate which star sign will be at the 0-degree point of your chart. We call this sign your ascendant, and this ascendant becomes a ruling sign of the first house and the anchor point for your chart. The rest of the signs then take rulership over each of these houses on the chart, moving in the order the signs normally follow. Now bear in mind that the ascendant or rising sign is not your star sign, or sun sign as it's called in astrology. This sun sign can be in any of the 12 houses, as it is simply a map of where the sun was at the time of your birth relative to the date, time and location. So by using the ascendant as our anchor point, we are able to plot the position of the sun on the chart. We work out where the other planets are on the chart by applying the same method we use to calculate the position of the sun. Some planets work well in some signs and some not so well in others, and in astrology we call that dignity. Planets in positive dignity assert their energy more strongly than others, and the positive dignity positions are either domicile, the sign that the planet rules, or exalted, a sign where the planet has strong expression. Negative dignity positions are decline and fall, and they simply mean that the energy of the planet has weaker expression in these signs. Aspects are connections between planets on a chart based on angles and, like dignity, these aspects are either positive, meaning energy flows easily between these planets, or negative, meaning energy is either in conflict or the energy of the planets are blocking one another. We're not going into any great depth in this course regarding aspects, but in putting this out there as the strength of a planet can be greatly impacted by the aspects that planet has to other planets on the chart. And although the ascendant is not considered a planet per se, it is still a defined point on your chart, and as thus creates aspects of its own on the natal chart. The next 3 lectures will walk you through the Sun, Moon and Ascendant. They'll tell you about their influence, or rulership as we call it in astrology. They'll also tell you about the dignity of the Sun and the Moon, so you'll know straight away once you create your chart whether your Sun or Moon are in a strong position of dignity on your chart. You'll also learn a few other interesting points on the Big 3. So let's do this.